Jesus said, "Man cannot live on bread alone, but from every word that proceeds from the mouth of God." You're listening to Daily Truth.
David, what was happening is he's sitting on the throne. We're meant to assume, because he's a man after God's own heart, we see all of his righteous exploits as well as his sin, but his righteous exploits, we're meant to assume that David is more than able and more than willing to execute justice, to do what is needed for the people of Israel. As they have a need, as they have some kind of crisis, David is willing to meet with them. David is willing to handle their situation. What's happening is not that David is this hard man, that he is this uncaring, unsympathetic man. What's happening is that Absalom is standing in the way. He is intercepting the people, and he's lying about his father, the king. He's lying. And he's saying, oh, if only there was somebody in Israel who was dedicated, if only this king cared about the people. Right? He's a great warrior. He's good with policy. Israel has been blessed by his leadership, no doubt. But the one thing he's not good at is interpersonal care and compassion for people. And that, I'm telling you, the applications are limitless. You could do associate pastor, senior pastor. That line's going to get peddled a million times in a million different churches. But you could also apply it to a president and then members of his administration. You know, if only the president was as caring. If only, what you're really saying is this. Absalom, what he's really saying is this. He's saying, if only I were king. Right? Is that not what he's saying? If only I were king. I would be better. I would do this for you. But the problem is that we have a jerk in office when what we need is an empathetic, caring leader. Because policies that mirror the law of God, at the end of the day, may have some value. But if it comes along with an annoying Twitter feed, I mean, can we really measure how much damage that does? Wouldn't you rather have someone responsible for ending thousands of lives with torture and murder in Afghanistan, but who is empathetic, than someone who seems, kind of annoying and harsh and foolish in their Twitters? I remember Jesus said something about this. There was a parable of two sons. The father asked both of them to go into his field and to work. Now, one son, in his word, right? Word and deed. In his word, he said, yeah, I'll do it. But then he doesn't show up. And the other son, in his word, he fails. And it is a sin. So I don't want to act as though it's completely absolved of moral responsibility. He tells his father, no, it's disrespectful. It's not honoring his father and mother. It is a sin. But in his deed, that's in his word, he sins. But in his deed, he shows up. Now, Jesus asked the question, and the answer is clear. Jesus asked the question, which one did better? The son who showed up. So according to Jesus, given the dichotomy, pitting word against deed, in the mind of Christ, the guy who gives the wrong word, but who does the right actions, still is not ideal. There's still sin, but it is an improvement from the one who gives the right word, but then does the wrong thing. I wish the church knew that about 9 months ago.
I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, would you consider supporting this ministry by giving a donation of any amount? You can do so by going to our website, rightresponseministries.com. Let's be frank. Sadly, many evangelical pastors and leaders are serving as nothing more than water carriers for the political left. Just as those in the political left hate you, just like those corporations that are left-leaning hate you, these pastors and evangelical leaders hate you. I know that's a strong statement to make. I'm aware of that, but it's true. They don't care about your personal liberty. They don't care about your freedom. They want you to love your neighbor at the expense of biblical truth, even if it means bearing false witness. That's not us. We're different. We're not the only ones. I don't want to be arrogant. God has reserved a remnant for himself in this time, as he has all other ages and all other places, but they are few and far between. It's called a remnant for a reason. We need your help. We want to stand up to tyranny. We want to stand up to this new left totalitarian regime. We want to defend Christians and people, the salt of the earth, who love America and who love God's word. But we can't do it without your help. If you're not prepared or able to give a financial gift, one way that you can support this ministry is by simply subscribing to our YouTube channel and clicking the bell so that you'll be notified as we come out with new content. You can also help us by sharing our content on all your social media platforms so that more people can hear the truth of God's word with courage and fidelity. Thanks for tuning in. God bless.